Hey guys, welcome back. In this lecture we introduced function and we created a function called display user info. But currently we have here a couple of errors and errors saying that our variable is not found. Okay, and that's actually true because function can only access its own context, and a context or a scope of this function is here. Function can also access outer context. So it can access our context outside of this function. So when I will move these variables outside of a main function, so I will cut them from here and I will put them outside of a function here. So like this, now you can see here these errors disappeared. So if these variables are not found in a scope of our display user info function, then they are looked for outside of the function, but they cannot go inside of another function. So when we have these variables inside of a main function, this function cannot find these variables inside of a main. But when they are outside of this function, it's totally okay. Okay, so now we have access to these variables. We can run them, and you will see that we will get our print here. So let's see. Okay, it's taking some time. Let's print it again. Okay, my name, age, height, and if I'm employed is here. Amazing. So now we can reuse this function and we can display it a couple of more times. So I can call this function, let's say 3 times, and I will get 3 times these console logs here. So let's print it, let's run it, and you will see I'm getting these prints 3 times. Okay. So as I mentioned before, our display user info is looking for these variables outside. What will happen when I will declare these variables instead of here, like this? Alright, and let's change this name for Filibierga, let's say to 28, let's change for a 29,187, and this will be false. So let's guess what will happen. Okay, let's run it. And you will see we are getting print out values from inside of these variables in a display user info. So as I told you, first we are looking inside of a context, inside of a function. Okay, and since we have these variables here, we don't need to look outside for these variables because, as I told you, we are going one line after another. Okay, so our application is run. We found the main function. We are executing this line, display user info. Okay, so here we have a declared function. We need to find this function here. Okay, so display user info, and we are executing one line here with the current declaring variable, second line declaring this variable, third, fourth, the same, and then we want to print here. Okay, and you can see here print username. Okay, print a username is some variable declared somewhere. So let's look for this username variable inside of this function. Okay, fair enough, it's found here. So I don't have a reason to go outside of this function to look for this variable somewhere outside. Okay, but when I will remove this function, this variable username, now when I want to print my username, it will say, oh, okay, this is no variable username inside of the display user info, so I will take a look outside. It will go outside of the function and will check this out here, string username, here, Filibierga. So let's run this, and you will see we are running our application and we are displaying Filibierga. Amazing. Okay, so let's say I don't want to expose these variables outside. I don't want to have them outside. I want to have them inside of my main function. Okay, so let's declare them back to our main, like this. Alright, and I don't want to also declare these variables here, inside of my display user info. How can I get them here? What I can do, here in our function there are parentheses, these brackets here, and they are here for a reason. I can pass here values and receive these values to a function. So I can pass values inside of here, and I can receive these values inside of here. And yeah, these called arguments of function or parameters of function. So to each function I can pass some values and receive them into our function. But about this I will talk in a next lecture, so again we are ending up with these nice errors here, but no worries, in the next lecture we'll fix them again, but with a different approach. So guys, I hope to see you in the next lecture.